Hey, what's up? Anthony here with ARcreates, and time for Fix My Graphic, episode number 2. Had a lot of fun doing the first one, got some good response out of it, had some of you guys submit more graphics in, so I appreciate all of the feedback, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Hope you learned something out of it. If you are just tuning in, I would suggest going back and watching the first episode, or at least the intro, where I kind of explain what Fix My Graphic is all about. But when I saw this one come in, today's, I just had to do it. I was like, man, this is such a cool graphic. It's pretty creative. Wanted to go over it. A few little things that I would like to change on it. But this one, it's going to be a good one. So sit back, enjoy, and watch the show. All right, guys, welcome back. Today's graphic comes from Jeron Blanke. He submitted this one right here. I will also put it up on the screen for you to be able to see. Section 7, Youth Christmas Party. It looks like it's a bowling party. So really cool. So a couple things I want to go over real quick is, first, let's look at what was really good about it. It's got all the relevant information. I like it. That's like we talked about in episode 1. That's some of the most important stuff, is having your information correct and available, especially on an event like this where there's a cost, there's a time, a date, a place. All of that is on there. Second thing that I really liked is the bowling ball ornament. That was a cool idea. I like that. That's pretty creative. So it's got that Christmas feel, but since it's a bowling party, he made the ornament into a bowling ball, and he had actually submitted the Photoshop file, so I was able to go back and actually dissect it a little bit. So that was really cool. It's got the garland behind it, got the bowling pins and like a bowling background. He's got some curves layers in here, a vignette layer. So really good job on the design, the execution. I think it was really creative. I think it was really cool. Another couple things, I think the fonts fit. It's kind of got this little fun vibe going with the fonts. They match very well. Colors and layout, I think great job. So at first glance, I was like, man, I don't even really know what to fix on this. And then I got down towards the bottom. I was like, well, I think the information could be laid out better. And I'm going to explain that. And at the end, I'm going to show you the one where I took his file and kind of manipulated it in my own way a little bit. So again, just to reiterate, this is a great graphic, very creative, but I think there's some things that could be made clearer and some things that we could fix on this. And after all, that's what Fix My Graphic is all about. It's not about totally redesigning it and scrapping it. It's about what are some minor changes, what are some small things we could do to make this look better. So first off, I'm looking at this, and down at the bottom you'll see is now our natural thing is we read left to right. That's how everything is. We don't read up and down. We read left to right. Like when you're reading a book, a newspaper, an article online, whatever, we typically read left to right. And so he's got the name of the pizza place, and then he's got the address beside it. So that's good, left to right. But the fonts are different. It looks like it doesn't fit because right down below that, where it says food will be provided, that's in the same font as the address, and then the time and the cost is the same font as the place. So when you glance at this, it doesn't look like you're supposed to read it left to right. It looks like 4 separate things, almost like it's laid out like a grid. And so to me, that doesn't really make sense when I'm looking at it and reading it. And when I glanced at it, I was like, oh, wait. Okay, now I see what the information was. It wasn't like super clear in the first part. So what I suggested is take the name of the place and then put the address with that. So if you'll look on the screen with mine, instead of having the name of the place on 2 lines, I put it on 1 line. Right underneath that, I put the address to the place. Still kept the same fonts and everything because I think that matches. I think it looks great. But to me, this makes things a little more clear. Now, not really getting into so much about, marketing or proper terms to use. But one thing I noticed is it says from 7 to 9, $10 per person. It's right there together in the same font. So it looks like that goes together. But to me, the time of the event should be near the date, not near the cost, because it says food will be provided. So technically, your $10 per person includes your food. So to me, those two pieces of relevant information should be put together, not by side and grouped with things that don't matter. So on mine, what I did is I moved the title up a little bit. I took the from 7 to 9 p.m., put that up near the date and angled it a little bit. You can see it on the screen there. Because to me, that just made more sense when I'm reading it top to bottom. I'm looking at this graphic. If it was posted on Instagram or something, I would see Section 7 Youth Christmas Party, December 6th from 7 to 9 p.m. To me, that just makes more sense visually to have those things together. And so then what I did on the $10 per person, I didn't have this font, so I kind of had to, do it real quick. I probably would have made it match a little bit better. But I put that $10 per person big on the opposite side, and in parentheses just put includes bowling and food. I think it's kind of redundant, it's that $10 per person and then food will be provided. It's almost like two separate things. Let's just put, hey, look, your entry is $10 per person. That includes your food and your bowling. Because with this, it's not really clear if this is a bowling party and food. I'm assuming it's a bowling party because it's at a bowling alley and it's got all this bowling stuff. So I would assume you're going to be bowling. Otherwise, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So like I said, overall, I think this was great. It's just about these little details that I think make things more clear. And so as you can see, I will put these side by side too so you can see. So subtle differences. But I have to say, overall, Jared nailed it on this one. Like, just the overall design and the creativity behind it, because that's a big part of it. I'm kind of digging into some of these technical things where, a lot of this is my opinion. I think this may look better. I think it may be readable. I think it may be easier to read. Doesn't necessarily mean that his was wrong. But then there's also the creative side, and the creative side to me is sometimes the hardest thing, is just coming up with that idea. Because I was trying to think about this. If somebody had given me this information, said create a flyer, honestly, my first thought was not to make a bowling ball ornament. But to me, that makes the graphic. That's an excellent idea. I was trying to think. I'm not really sure where I would start on this. But he did a much better job than I think I would have done on the creativity side, because that's just a cool element. And it seems like something so simple, but in reality, I don't know how. Maybe he's just a super creative guy. Maybe he came up with this, just snap of his fingers. But yeah, great job on that. Little details like that really make a big difference. So, kind of short here, not too much to go over. I thank you guys for submitting graphics. Keep submitting them. I think I have at least 5 more episodes to film. I would like to just continue. I'll continue this series as long as you guys keep sending out graphics. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up again. I'll put both of them on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe. That way that you get all of the notifications as soon as a video is uploaded. Don't forget at ARcreates on all social media. And I have started a email newsletter. So I would urge you, go subscribe. The link will be down in the bottom in the description. If you subscribe to that, you will get early access to any design assets that I release, fonts, texture packs, things like that. And I will be sending out some email-only newsletter coupon codes. So you may get some free stuff out of it as well. And one last plug, I have added new merch into my store. If you'll go look at the Gumroad link that I have down in the bottom, I have a few stickers. And as I get more stuff in, I will be adding to that as well. So thank you guys. See you on the next episode. Have a great day.